Redneck Reef Junkie here. Today I want to make a video on how I'm going to clean up all the clutter underneath the 40-gallon tank. What I've pretty much done here is I've got my 125-gallon tank to the left and my 40-gallon breeder sitting 90 degrees to the right, and I've got all of my wet stuff underneath the 125 and all my electronics underneath the 40-gallon. It works out really nice. That way I can keep everything nice and organized. But if you notice, I've never organized it. So I've kind of done a few things on the right hand side with my drivers, but it's not neat and it's not the way I want it to be. I've looked at this for a year now, this mess, and I've just never done anything about it because I planned on switching controllers out with the Apex controller, but I've never ordered it, and it's going to be just a little bit before I can order one. So I'm going to go ahead and do it, and then it won't be hard to switch out the controller later. This will be my first video that I'm actually kind of editing multiple videos together, because there's kind of a few tips and tricks I want to throw in, but I don't want you to have to sit and watch me do all this, because it's probably going to take me an hour or so, and I know you don't want to sit here for an hour and watch me zip tie cables together. But I'm going to go ahead and start working now, and as I go I will show you a few little things that could be my idea, just something I thought of to neaten things up, and it could be something you already know or seen before. What I'm going to be using today to complete the task at hand is a drill, wire cutters, these cool little Velcro straps, zip ties, trusty stainless steel screws, and these neat little adhesive mounting pads. Alright, well, it took me a little bit longer than I'd hoped, but at least I can shut the doors now. Let's see what it looks like. Alright, looks a lot better. I'm going to take you in the stand and show you what I did. Alright, what I've done on the left hand side of the stand is mount my power strips and power supplies and ballast to the side of the stand, and I've mounted my control modules for the Reef Keeper and Vortex pump to the inside of the door of the stand. And one thing I wanted to tell you about that I find really handy is these power strips. You know, you see them and you probably have them all over your home, behind every TV and cabinet with multiple things plugged into them. One thing that they're really handy for in your reef tank or under your reef tank is the ability to run multiple devices off one single port or plug-in on your Reef Keeper. For example, these cheap T5 lights that I've got going, they have like you know, one plug for the blues, one plug for the whites, and then another plug for the LEDs, moonlights, and you know that takes up 3 outlets. Well, what I've done here is I use one of these power strips to be always on, and I've got it plugged into one of my outlets on my Reef Keeper. If I didn't have an extra outlet, I could just plug this into the wall and it would be fine, other than it wouldn't be protected like the Reef Keeper would protect it. And the other one, I run both of my T5 lights into one plug-in with the other power strip. And if I had something else that I want to come on when the lights come on, like a fan or something else like that, I could just plug it in there as well and only use one outlet on my Reef Keeper. Another thing that I wanted to tell you about is the way that I've mounted some of my ballast and power strips. The power strips, some of them, the ones that you should always get anyways, have a little slot on the back of them, or 2 little slots, so you can mount them, you know, and it makes it really easy. The ones that don't, I've kind of come up with a way that you can mount power strips and ballast or whatever you want pretty securely without using adhesive Velcro pads, because in my experience they always end up falling off. And let me show you how that works and how you can do that. What I've done here to mount some of these power supplies up is I've taken one of those Velcro straps that I showed you at the beginning of the video, and a stainless steel screw, and I screwed through the strap into the wood. And then all you got to do is just take the strap and wrap it around your power supply, and then you can secure it that way. And if it's something really heavy, or if you want it to be perfectly straight, you can put two of those straps side by side. I just thought that was something pretty neat, and it works better than those adhesive pads because, like I said earlier, every time I try and use one, they end up falling off. Alright, now that I got that secured, I'm going to show you a little bit about my LED setup I've got going on the other side of the stand. I'm not completely done wiring up my LEDs. I mean, I've got them all connected and working, but what I want to do is get a couple of 8 connection terminals and put them right here and here, and run all of the power wires, the power going in from the Reef keeper, and then power going from the drivers out to the LEDs, you know, all nice and neat right here on this side. And I'll get rid of all them goofy wire nuts, and I'll put proper connections on each end of the wires, and then you just screw it down to the terminal. I'll make another video once I get that done to show you how it looks when it's finished. But basically on this side of the tank stand, I've got my drivers for my LEDs. I've got 3 100 watt drivers that power my 100 watt multi-chip LEDs, and then I've got these 2 drivers right here that power 3 20 watt Royal Blue chips each, and then I've got a computer power supply that I use to power 3 cooling fans for my heat sinks on my LEDs. And everything has worked out perfect with these LEDs. I've not had any issues with these drivers, even though these drivers right here are like cheap Chinese drivers, and even these ones are from ACRC on eBay. They're a little bit higher quality, I believe, than the other ones, but you just can't beat them. They stay nice and cool, and I've not had any issues. They've been running for a long time now. The blues, I've only had them running probably 6 months, but all in all, I can't complain about the setup. I just got to make it look a little bit neater underneath here to be happy with it. Alright guys, that wraps it up for today. We got everything looking nice and neat underneath the stand, and now we can actually close the doors, something I should have done a long time ago. I just never got around to it. Keep an eye on my channel, because this week I'm going to be posting 2 videos. One video is going to be about just kind of an update on the tank and some issues I've had and how I'm moving forward with the tank, and then the other video is going to be kind of a more in-depth overview of the system and how everything works, and plans and modifications I have to make the system better. But thanks for watching. Please subscribe and keep an eye on my channel for the new videos I'm going to post this week.